Hey guys, it's Rachel Youngson here from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. We are here with our weekly PLR Power Hour. This is where we do some training on how you can use PLR, where we talk about resources and what everybody's doing in their business. More than anything, we connect as a community, and a lot of people like to use this time just to carve out an hour of their week to put that pesky PLR to use. So, today we have a really interesting topic. It's super simple ways to get started profiting from your PLR quickly. I thought this was a really great topic for a lot of reasons. We have a lot of confessed PLR hoarders in our group, and you're not alone if you're a hoarder. There's a lot of us out there. But also, over at our Use PLR members group, we've been getting some questions on how do I take this PLR stuff and actually make money with it. Changing it up and revamping it and all that does a lot of great stuff for you, and that definitely puts you in the right direction, but it's not the same as actually profiting from it. And a lot of folks who buy PLR are able to profit from it, and they are able to make money quickly, and they kind of have the system in place. But there are also a lot of folks who buy it and do all the revamping and change it into different formats, and then they still kind of struggle with putting those last few pieces together where folks actually come to the group, you get traffic, and then they go through your sales funnel and they purchase. So that's really going to be our focus today. It's some of the ways that we're going to discuss aren't traditional ways, but they are easy ways, and that's, to me, what's most important. I really want everybody to have a foundation where they can get a piece of PLR, whether it be a PLR journal or a PLR report, and they can have the thought process of, okay, well, now I have this, boom, 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 there's my cash from that. I know what I'm going to do, 1, 2, 3, here's my cash from that. Maybe 6 months or a year later, you look at the product with a new set of eyes and you say, hey, you know what? I can change the format of this PLR a little bit more. I can make videos training with this, and I can make that an upsell. I can, relaunch this as a bigger product. So, it's all, hey, Greg, good to see you today. So it's all about getting into that mindset of, okay, now I've bought this PLR, 1, 2, 3, there's my profit. Long term, here's different ways that I can profit from it over and over and over again. So before we get into this too much, I did just want to real quick let everybody know that if you haven't had a chance to grab our Paleo Quick Start Power Pack, today is the last day to get that at the discounted $14.95 price. If you are a member of the Use PLR members group, you have a special discount even further. So please feel free to reach out to me in that group, tag me in something if you need that coupon code. But we did go ahead and revamp this, and we've got our report, we've got articles that are pulled from that report, we've got all these implementation steps. We just created this brand new opt-in page for you. We have all of these, of course, this is how you can profit from it, social media images, what to do with those, checklist, eat this, not that paleo style, which I really kind of like the title of that. And then, of course, we have our success steps journal, which some of our more frequent guests have already gotten that. Our content repurposing challenge is part of this, PLR to profit report, social media images, and how to use PLR articles. Again, that's only $14.95 today. That price, as well as the Use PLR members coupon, will all be expiring tonight. So just wanted to let you guys know that. Okay, let's get to the goodies. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the sales funnel and the typical way that folks go from here's the PLR pack that I bought, this is what I do with it to make money. There's two real essential things to a sales funnel. And one of them is specifically traffic, which I know that some folks have said to me, we've got all this great stuff. Now, how do I get the traffic there? How do I let people know about it? So before, before we get too deep into it, I did want to let you know that we have some great trainings. If you're not over on the Use PLR YouTube channel, that has all the trainings that we're going to be talking about today, in depth over there. And it's kind of a great way to find even more ways to get yourself working with PLR. Hey, Michelle, good to see you today. Okay, guys, so a few months ago, we had Stephanie Barry Watson talk to us about how to create a sales funnel with PLR. And essentially, she showed us how you take a piece of PLR, you use it to nurture your buyers, you use it to create a report or a free gift, and what you do after that funnel is complete. And it's some really great stuff, and I have her video link right here. I'm going to share it in the chat box, and I'm also going to show you. Now we're just going to go over the basics. I'm not going to, of course, make you watch the video or any of that fun stuff, but I did think it was important, since I do have so many of these really great trainings, to kind of show you what's what. I also wanted to give you guys a real quick thank you, because I do have over 100 YouTube subscribers as of last week, so thank you guys very much for that. So here's what Stephanie does. She runs Berry Publishing. If you are in the position to outsource, she shows you how to, she does a lot of writing, proofing. She has a team that does all of this great stuff for you. If you ever want to get in touch with her, she can also help you get connected with VAs. Feel free to reach out to me. I know her. I can vouch for her. She's a great lady. She's very sweet. And when I asked her to speak with us, she was more than excited to do that, because, like me, she understood that there's kind of a, I have my PLR, now what do I do, situation. And she's very knowledgeable about creating these sales funnels, because she does do this product creation for her clients, and as well as run her own business. So some of the things that she showed us how to do include learning about your buyer's journey, which is super, super important, because you need to know who they are, get a sense of why you're targeting them, the folks who you're targeting, who's going to be coming into your sales funnel, who will be your ideal customer. And then she gives us a short thing like, here, this is what a sales funnel is, and she helps us to understand why our buyers are who they are. We're going to go through every stage of their journey, what the typical thought process of each of the buyers during each stage of their journey, which is super important, and how you can respond to that, the best ways that you can respond to that. And of course, it all leads back to making your customer happy. That's obviously what you want to do, is you want to give them something where they're like, hey, I want to do that again. I want to purchase with you again. Hey, you know that guy Greg? He's a really great guy. I had a really great experience with him. I'm going to buy his products for the rest of eternity, you know? She's also, in this, she talks to us a little bit about how we can figure out where the buyer is in their journey, which is really important. And just so you guys know, I'm going over all of these because there are so many ways that you can profit from your PLR. Quickly, what I'm doing is I'm going over the main ways. I'm giving you the rundown of what was talked about in these training videos. I'm giving you the links, and then I'm encouraging you to ask questions. Let me know what we need to do to maybe go in depth in anything, and we can go from there as far as over on the Facebook page. But we've got a lot of a lot of things to do today other than just the sales funnel, which is why I'm recapping things. And I think it'll make more sense as time goes on why we're doing it this way. But Stephanie helps us. She even gave us some, she gave us a download, and I don't know where I have it, but I have it somewhere, and I can definitely give it to you guys when I find it. But she gave us a download to try to, it's basically a worksheet so we can follow along, and match how this pertains to our specific businesses. And also, she talks to us about what we can do once we get the buyer. Like, now you've got them. Now they're in your journey. Now they're part of your, clientele. Where do they go from there? How do you keep them happy over time? And as you're going through this, you can go through that little slip of workbook that she gave us, and you can write all that down. And again, I'll find that for you guys. I know that I have it somewhere. I changed my theme for my opt-in, or for my pages like a few months ago, and I just realized today that Optimize Press and Thrive themes, because they hate each other, I lost access to some of my stuff from the Optimize Press days. So I'll get that for you guys, and I will post that in the members group once I have it. She also gives us some examples of how you repurpose, which you guys know I'm big into repurposing. I'm big into changing formats and changing titles and changing the covers of things. It's really good, though, I think, to know how to do that from someone else's point of view. I say it a lot to my regular community. You get used to learning how one person does things, but it's really great to know how multiple people do things, because then you can go from there, and you can find a different way to do it. You can find your own way to do it. I may do something differently than Jen Brockman does. Jen Brockman runs planners. I do written PLR, not planners. And yet we both have successful businesses. We do things differently, but the end result is the same. And it's really about figuring out what path is the best for you. So it's really important that you take a look at things like these repurposing examples, even though in the back of your mind you're probably saying, hey, Rach goes over these like every week, what we should do. I'm sure that I know everything that Stephanie's going to say because of Rachel. It's really important that you have that scope of different things so you can figure out what works best for you and your business. And of course, you want to publish the content. For those of you who are newer to these calls, if you do not have a website, or I'm sorry, if you do not have a shopping cart, one thing that I typically recommend is that you use something like JVZoo or Warrior Plus, because that will let you host your products on their site, or house your products on their site, but host them on your site. So essentially, you take the buy button code from JVZoo, you put it on your website, and that serves as a shopping cart. You send traffic to your website. When you are ready to move into your own shopping cart, you can change things, or you can make a duplicate page with your own shopping cart button and send traffic there. That's it's a really big deal in the beginning that you have some kind of a way to earn money. We also did a training last week with Angel Santos, and she showed us the Kartra system for when you have that's something like when you have a little bit of money to put back into your business. It handles like all of your email, all of your affiliates. It has a help desk built into it so that you can have your own help desk for your clients. And it helps create web pages and tag all your subscribers. Tagging is really, really important because that allows you to say, okay, well, Michelle is interested in recipe PLR. I know that because every time that I have recipe PLR that I'm advertising, she's clicking the link. So that tells me that's what interests her. And I can then build on that and use that as part of our communication relationship moving forward. And of course, after you do it all, it's just a matter of lather, rinse, repeat. So So again, this is as far as using PLR on your sales funnel. Really, really important. This is the first way to profit from your PLR quickly, and it's probably the most talked about way, because obviously you get these big PLR in a box items and you want something to do with them, and they're built for the sales funnel process. So this is the first thing that you want to do. Go through, listen to Stephanie's training, just make sure that you've got all your bases covered. If you need a deeper understanding of your buyers and their journey and the nurture sequence and all that good stuff. If you have a piece of PLR in a box now and you feel like, I know the sales funnel process, I know what I want for step A, B, C, etc., go ahead and put that together and use something like JVZoo or Warrior Plus if you don't have a shopping cart. Over time, when you're ready to get your own shopping cart, take a look at what other people in your niche are using, because once you start courting affiliates, if they don't know you really well, but they know the shopping cart system that you use, it will go a long way in them taking a chance on you. So now we've got our funnel built. What do we do now? Well, now the issue is, of course, getting traffic to that sales funnel. We have a really, really smart marketing lady in our group, and that is Angel Santos. And I know that I already said her name, but she runs Grow My Brand. And she shows us how to, hey Sandra, good to see you today. So she shows us how to market your business, and she has a team that will do that for you and take that responsibility on for you. And this is our lovely Angel here. So she's got different services, and she's got a whole team. But one thing that she does when she markets, and she's had a lot of luck with this, and I'm thankful that she doesn't mind me sharing this, but she runs Facebook ads, but she also runs Instagram ads. I was a little bit surprised to hear her say that she's actually been getting more luck with the Instagram ads lately. And I think it's I don't think it's not that Facebook is going anywhere or anything like that, but maybe Instagram is an untapped market. Maybe Instagram is not what people are really thinking of when they think of their ads. But she was able to get her, she has a goal for her subscribers, and she was able to get into the triple digits in, what, a week? Less than a week. And I'm not talking like 100, I'm talking like 3, 4, somewhere around there, in a very short amount of time, because she's been running these ads. So I would follow her if I were you. She has a blog. You can contact her. She also has she has a course. I don't know the name of the course, but I know she has a course on marketing for Facebook marketing. And I know her. I've worked with her for almost a year now. I fully trust her. And I know that if you contact her and tell her Rachel Youngson told you to ask about the course, she'll give you the link to the course. It's really that simple. You can also go, if you're part of our Use PLR members group, you can tag her directly in there and ask her in there. If you're not part of the group, don't worry, I'll get you the link for that in just a few minutes here. So you've got your sales funnel. You've got your traffic going to the sales funnel. You know what to do on the back end as far as your shopping cart. You've got a plan for all that stuff. Now let's talk about something a little bit fun. Let's flip it and talk about a totally different way to use PLR and to profit from it quickly. And that is, well, there's a few ways, but one of them is taking your PLR into the physical world. And what that basically means is, let's say that I run a health business. I'm a health coach, okay? I've got my own blog. I've got a little local community as well as an online community. So I rent out space at the library, and I have this PLR that I bought on, let's just say, the paleo diet, because we all know that's one of the things I do. So I have this PLR on the paleo diet, and I want to get this to my physical folks who are in my group here at the library, right? So what am I going to do with this pack? Well, for starters, you can create a PowerPoint presentation based off of the information that you have. Pull out tips, pull out the social images, and put those in the PowerPoint slide along with the tips to make everything, you know, nice and pretty and sparkly. You can take the steps that, like, break down the report into steps, actionable steps, and print those out as a worksheet so that you can give one to everybody as you're going through your presentation, and that way they can use that as part of their own health journey, and they can say, okay, well, you're saying the paleo diet, but these are my top 3 health concerns, and so maybe this isn't right for me, or maybe this is how I need to modify that diet. Something like that. That gives them something that they can connect with you. Even if they've never met you, they can connect with you. And by the way, it's much easier for someone to connect with you in a space like that, in a library space or a local space, than it is for someone to feel like they can connect with you when you're online, because that's a much bigger beast. You know, you really want that. They call it the know, like, trust factor, the loyalty factor, the connection that you build. It's so much easier to build it in that physical space. So going on the same thing, now you've got your worksheets, you've handed a worksheet out to everybody. Well, hey, you've got this PLR report that you bought also. It's simple steps to getting into paleo, okay? Now, what do? Well, super easy. Print out that report, turn it into a little book. Before you print it out, though, add things like an About Me page so they know who you are. Maybe add some examples of things that as they relate to your business or your life. And add a list of resources to the back. They'll call it the resource page, obviously. And that way you can have like affiliate links in there and other ways that they can contact you and things like that. Now you've got this report. Might not be 100 pages, might only be like 15, 20 pages printed, maybe 30, I don't know. But either way, you can practically give that to them for $10, $19.95, $27, whatever you feel like. And there you have a physical product based off of your PLR that you're now making money with. And it goes one step further if you feel comfortable changing the format. So for instance, you have that report, you maybe read that report or hire somebody on Fiverr or Upwork to read that report and turn that into an MP3, and now you've got, oh hey, there's an audio version and there's a readable version, and you can listen to the audio on your phone, and you can, and now you've got options for them. So of course they're going to be happy to pay the higher price. Excuse me. They're going to be happy to pay you a little more because they now have all these options. You are working with the same piece of PLR. You're just doing it in a different way, and you pay somebody one time to talk about or to read aloud this material that you have, and you profit from that forever because now it's part of your product. Charles Terrence Harper did a great webinar with us, and he talked to us all about how to do this, how to take your PLR and turn it into real world stuff. He specifically is a really great person to talk to and to connect with, because his wife actually did this. So Charles and his wife and his team, they create a lot of great PLR, but his wife actually put this into use. She took some of their PLR or other PLR, and she used it for her own gain in her own offline community, and she monetized that. She was able to make money doing that. So super important, especially, like, again, if you're a coach of any kind, if you want to, let's say maybe you do those essential oils, those doTERRAs or whatever, anything where you have an online space, but it also serves you to build a physical community. Take your PLR, take it to the offline world, make money on it, super quick, super easy. And once you, of course, have that physical product, because you have a digital version of it, you can always just tweak it, print it out again, do whatever you need to do. Super simple. So the other thing about Charles Harper is he runs a Facebook group called, hold on a sec, let me get that for you because I don't want to lie. He runs a Facebook group that is also all about how you can use your PLR. So just like we have our Use PLR members group, Charles has a great group that you may also want to get involved with. The PLR show, that's what it is. So if you go to Facebook and you search for the PLR show, that will take you to Charles's group. I do believe it's a closed group. If you let him know that Rachel Youngson sent you, then he will approve you, of course, because he knows that we kind of have the same message. We're both trying to teach people how to use PLR. So, but anyway, this training, we have a link for it in our chat box. This is all about what Charles went through with us about taking your PLR offline. And he is super knowledgeable. He's been doing this for a lot of years. And as I said, because his wife actually did it, there's a bit of real world, if I can do it, you can do it too, kind of thing. So, and of course, just like we talked about, that whole ability to connect with folks, that's one of the things that Charles emphasizes in his training as well. And he also talks about how you can then go on to create a full sales funnel and that kind of thing, which is really important. Now, here's something that Charles teaches us how to do in his webinar that I think is going to take you far, no matter which space you're in, whether it's the offline or the online space, is turning your PLR into a regular workshop. So some folks talk about, they call them elevator pitches, I believe. And it's basically like a rundown of, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I can help you in your business, this is my journey. And they condense all of that into a PowerPoint slide. And they'll go around, particularly if they have a new product out, they'll go around to other marketers in their niche, and they will say, like for me, I'd say, hey Trish, I've got this new product on how to create a food blog. You want me to speak to your folks about it? And she'll be like, sure. And then I'll take that elevator pitch, or that PowerPoint slide that I created, and I'll go do a webinar for them. And that way I benefit from it, Trish benefits from it, the community benefits from it, those who are truly interested in it, of course. And now I can take that same thing, I can go over to April Lamar, who also does food as part of her PLR packages. And lather, rinse, repeat, do the same thing with her community. Then I can go over to Jennifer Anderson, who'd also, of course, food with her PLR packages. Then I can go over to Michelle Bible. Then I can go over to Piggy Makes Bake. They have a few health packages, and I can just work the circuit kind of like that. And I can use the exact same workshop, the exact same presentation, just go through all these different people, connect with all these different people. And here's where it gets really great, because Charles, he's telling us how to take this offline. What we learned from him is how to have a regular workshop. Now I have it. I can preach it at the library one weekend, preach it at the library the next weekend. I can go to another library in another county, get a whole new little group of people, do the same thing. I can do it online. If, maybe if folks aren't able to come, for my local community, I can do all sorts of different things using the same material, using the exact same format, the exact same workshop. So it gets really easy to see the power of how you can take your PLR and use it, implement it in the real world, if you want to. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing any key pieces that Charles discussed before we go on. He does talk to you about how to deliver your products. We talked about that as well, about your shopping carts and all that fun stuff. Charles has some really great connections as far as turning your stuff into DVDs and that type of thing. I personally have never done that, so I don't typically talk about it. He also uses CreateSpace, which I've heard a lot of great things about, but I've never used. So I can't vouch for it, but I do know that he talks about it a little bit in depth when he does this for us during this training. So look for places to find your venue. You don't just have to do it at a library. You can do it, you can do it in your home. You can do it, like, have meetups, those meetup things. Do one of those. You could do it at a friend's house. So let's say that I'm a health and wellness coach, and I've got a friend, and her friends are now doing Weight Watchers, she and her friends. Well, now I can take my little health and wellness coach spiel, try it on over to her house, give the spiel to her and her friends, and boom. Super simple, super easy. And by the way, when we talked before about when I showed you that Charles likes to turn things into DVDs when possible, you can sell those too. I mean, you can make those, of course, giveaways, which would be great, but you can also sell those. I mean, it's all about monetizing yourself. So that's how to take your PLR offline with Charles Harper. And again, that link is in the chat box. Real quick, guys, I'm going to take a look at our chat box because I do see there's been some activity while I've been over here rambling. Okay, Sandra says, if you did the audio version on your own, what's a good platform? You know what? I actually don't do audio versions, but the answer to that should be in this webinar. Also, let me think. If you wouldn't mind shooting me an email at rachel@useplr.com, I can do some digging and figure it out for you. I know I know that I have access to that information. Because I don't use it, it kind of sits and goes stale. Kim wants you guys to know CreateSpace is now part of Kindle Direct Publishing. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate the looking out. I don't use this, so I'm really glad that I have folks in my community who help me when I need it. So thank you very much, Kim. I appreciate it. Okay, guys. So, and Sandra, again, my email is rachel@useplr.com. Sorry that I don't have that right offhand for you, but again, it's not something that I do very often. The worst thing I could do is tell you something that's going to steer you in the wrong direction. I'd much rather connect with some of my other PLR folks who do this more frequently and then give you a correct answer, a good guidance. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my most fun way to take your PLR offline. And that is turning your PLR into physical products. Okay, so why is that important? What does that give you? Why is that such a great thing to do? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and the biggest reason is because you can take your PLR, take like maybe tips from your PLR, or take if you have, like, let's say something like a funny fact or anything like that, you can take that, and you can take all of that and you can turn it into mugs, card decks. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. I will get to it. Probably this evening, maybe tomorrow morning will be the turnaround time for me to get responses from folks. But I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So yeah, so you take your PLR. Let's say that you take some quotes out of your PLR, funny quotes. Let's say I have some pet PLR, and I I don't know, part of my PLR report says typically Great Danes lose to Dachshunds in dominance wars. You know, I could change that up a little bit, and I could put that on a mug, like, beware Great Dane, here comes the Dachshund, and have like a little picture of a Dachshund that I get from like Pixabay or something. Super easy, super quick. And then I can sell it on Etsy, Amazon, eBay, all this other stuff. And it's really easy. So Amy Harrop, she did a webinar with us. And she talked to us all about how to do this with our PLR, how to take your PLR and how to turn it into something physical and how to profit from it over and over and over again. Amy showed us how to do this with cards, how to make like recipe cards and things like that and sell that on Amazon or other spaces. It's a really quick, simple, easy way to learn how to profit from your PLR and to start profiting from it quickly. You know, I mean, think about it. All that time that you spend in your office rewriting things or passing that, like spending the cost to pass that on to other people in your team, you can easily take some of that time and pull some of that out, some little information, maybe hashtag Dachshunds beat Great Danes. I don't know. You know, you can pull tidbits out and use it for this print on demand stuff. It's an easy second way to earn money. It's an easy passive income, and you can get your inspiration off from your PLR. So Amy has this print on demand playbook that I will give you guys the link to. I personally, I haven't used this particular product of Amy's, but this is Amy Harrop, and I know that a lot of folks in my community really, really like her. They say she's a really great teacher. I know that when she came and spoke to my audience, they loved what she had to say. I was not able to find our training because, like I said, there's fun website issues. However, if you wanted to take a look at what Amy has to offer, there's the link there is in the chat box. But now I want to talk to you a little bit about what my favorite, hands down, easiest way to make money with PLR is. Outside, of course, you know, you want to do your sales funnel. So right now, let's do a little bit of a recap, okay? So we've done our sales funnel. We're driving traffic to our sales funnel. All right, we've got that out of the way. Now we're reaching people in our offline community, folks that are in our local community, maybe Tri-County area, that would be interested in what we have. Quickly build that know, like, trust factor with those folks because we're taking that offline and we're building those instant connections. Now you're a big wig in your local community as well. Then turn around. Now you've got, you know, start thinking about print on demand. How am I going to now take all of this and turn it into passive income with this print on demand? Now, by the way, guys, just as a reminder, you can do all of this with the same exact piece of PLR, the same exact packet of PLR that you got. You can turn into all these different things. And, you know, some folks have a fear of their clients being like, hey, I think I've seen this before. But in all actuality, who's going to get a deck of playing cards and be like, hey, I've seen that. I've seen that before. I saw that in a report. You know, I mean, it's just, it's either all going to look like it comes from you or they're never going to put it together. I mean, it's just, when you reformat things, you really, really, really decrease the chances of somebody saying, hey, this looks like PLR. By the way, though, I find nothing wrong with using PLR. Obviously, I think it's a great thing to do, but I do know that some of my clients, you know, their customers are get a little nervous, you know, when they find out that if they find out that the person that they're trusting is using PLR in any kind of way. So just to give you a little bit of, you can breathe easy, you know, if you do all of these things, you reformat your stuff, the odds of somebody else reformatting the exact same piece of PLR, taking the exact same tips out of it, doing the exact same things with it that you're doing, and selling it in the exact same spaces, pretty slim. So, okay, now we've done all this fun stuff. Now we're going to do, excuse me, Sorry, guys. It's a lot of chatter. Anyway, now we've done all this stuff. Now we're going to do something super easy, super simple. And that is turn your PLR into planners and journals. What's the beauty of this? Okay, picture this. Digital product. You've got a digital product. Okay, yeah, you make your print-on-demand products. That's great. You know, you make your mugs, you make your cards. That's great. Something breaks, something is lost in the mail. You get to deal with all that stuff. Digital product, you create once. People come, they buy it. Other people come, they buy it. You know, you do your listing. I don't know, maybe you check on it every, you know, X amount of time. I don't know. But either way, you don't have to manage it the same way that you'd have to manage a physical product. You also, because there's no like sales funnel process and anything like that, you don't really have to monitor it as closely as you would this, you know, big PLR bundle where maybe things change or maybe something new happens. Maybe you do a product relaunch in a few months. Doesn't really follow the same guidelines. So Jen Alex Brockman, she runs a site called Planning Addicts. A lot of folks who are active in our community know Jen. She's done some really great trainings for us. Just a few weeks ago, she showed some folks how to organize their PLR with Google Slides. She's done a really in-depth training for us on how to use PLR planners and journals and how to create them. And she is just amazing, amazing, amazing. So let me, I know I have her her actual link here somewhere. Sorry, I didn't get that sooner, but okay. So this is a really, really important training if you want to know how to make this passive, easy second stream of income. It's, again, all digital. So it's really easy to do this and then move on to the next thing. Jen has done it herself. She has created planners and things and sold them on Amazon successfully. One thing I always recommend with PLR is I always recommend changing the title, changing the cover, just to make it unique to you. But in the planner and journal space, it's really up to you. I mean, you can look on Amazon, and because, you know, so many different people sell the same thing, and that's okay, you know, it's not like, it's a different atmosphere than if I was selling maybe my Paleo Quick Start Report and someone else was selling the same thing. It's a little bit different. So Jen did this really great training for us. She uses all these free tools to do this, and she runs planningaddicts.com, where she has all these great starting points for you. But also, she just finished her printable design school, which I'll show you in just a sec, which is also really, really great. I'm blessed that I have access to that because this is my new favorite passive income stream, which I'm still working through learning how to do that. But hey, if you and I jump on board together and you have any questions, you know, you can always reach out to me. And Jen is also in our Use PLR members group, our Facebook group. So if you are over there, please feel free to tag her in anything and she will answer you directly. But anyway, so this is essentially what she walked us through. She showed us, this is how you're going to create a cover. This is how you're going to make your lines. This is how to duplicate things. This is how to get images. This is how to make sure your images look good. She even showed us how to scale the images in the correct format. These are just some of the things that Jen's done. And as I said, you're going to, in this training, you will see exactly how to do it all. And you'll learn how to correct things and how to make it unique to yourself, which is super important. She also has some ideas on images and that type of thing, which is also, of course, very important. She and I go about things a little bit different as far as image creation, but again, the end result is the same. As far as she makes quality products, I make quality products. Yeah, Sandra, it's a really good session to look at. She's really great, and in a few minutes, I'm going to drop the link to our members group too, and she's very active in there. And if you ever have any questions, you can always tag her. I would tag myself too, so like tag her and Rachel if you have any questions, because that way, if maybe Jen has an emergency or she's not as active in the group, I have other ways of reaching her. So, but yeah, so there's a huge, huge, amazing opportunity here. And I honestly have to say, like, I have never realized just how big this opportunity was until I talked to Jen, until Jen did this training for my community. I mean, as a PLR seller, because I primarily sell PLR, I look at things with a different set of eyes than most of my customers do, just because it's different. It's different for me than it is for them. So like when I know that Sue Fleckenstein, for instance, has her journaling and planner membership club. I know that, but because I don't use that, I don't really see the possibilities the way that maybe Jen would, because she actually physically uses this stuff and she actually makes passive income from it. So when she came and she started talking to us, that's the first time that I really started to understand it. It really started to click. You've got a digital product, throw it on Etsy, throw it in all these different marketplaces, and it's super simple, super easy. It's not like you have to worry about shipping or damages, or I'm assuming you have a little bit of customer service, but I mean, it's definitely not gonna be the same way that it would be if you were selling, shirts and mugs and that kind of thing. Not that you can't sell that stuff, but I mean, if you're looking for a simple, super easy way to get cracking, there it is. So in addition to the session that we linked in the chat box, here is a link to Jen's Printable Design School. And again, I am part of this as well. If you have any problems, feel free to let me know. And we can definitely chat about it. We can, look at things together if you want. No problem at all. For those of you who are interested in making those, in starting and growing your business using Kartra, that's the stuff we talked about earlier with Angel Santos, how you can tag customers, have a shopping cart, have an affiliate program, have a help desk. I just threw the link for that in the chat box as well. Today is April 30th. Angel has a contest of sorts for female entrepreneurs, and it ends today. You can get the information for that on that session page that I just dropped into the chat box. And of course, do that today and you can get, I believe it's like free training and free consultation and that kind of thing. But Angel does a lot of really good work. So again, unfortunately, it's only for female entrepreneurs and it does close today. So let's see what else we have going on here. So now let's paint a picture really quick before we drop off that members group information. Okay, so here's your picture. Here's your full-fledged, you are a PLR god picture. Okay, take your PLR, make a sales funnel, drive traffic to your sales funnel. Great. Now Second line of income. Print on demand, print your journals and printables, make cards, make t-shirts, make mugs, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Wonderful. Now, take this even further. Take it all offline. Take your PLR offline. You know, speak at your local libraries. Speak at your at gatherings. Be a coach. Have a blog, but also have something that kind of entices the physical community around you. And have a workshop. Take that workshop and use it over and over and over again as you're connecting with all these different people. Wrap it all up with using a digital product, using a digital planner or journal. You know, so for instance, look, I mean, I know that it might seem maybe like a bit of extra effort, and you know, to a degree it might be. So if you're taking, like, let's say you take my Paleo Super Pack and you are turning that into a journal, that's totally, you can completely do that. You can take the images and throw those in the journal. You can break it down so that it's almost like a checklist, or this is how it would, like, tell me how this pertains to you kind of thing, you know, with a bunch of lines and spaces and things for your folks to write on. Yeah, it does take a little bit of tweaking, but it's not a great amount of work. It's not a huge amount of work. And once you have that digital product, you have that forever. It's probably the most hands-free, so to speak, not totally hands-free, you know, maybe one hand-free way to have a passive income through your PLR. All right, so this is all the big picture here. It's all the stuff working together. Now you are dominating with your PLR. Now what do you want to do? Hey, you can go back through all that stuff. You can reformat it. You can find different ways to use that PLR to change it up. Maybe turn it from audio to a video, or turn it from a report to a report in a workbook, or, I mean, you can do all sorts of different things just by changing the format. And so you can really go back through this entire process and revamp and restructure and maybe make complementary things to the things that you already have. This is where, if you have like a PLR membership site, such as Coach Glue or Piggy Makes Bank, White Label Perks, bite-sized bundles, if you have some kind of a PLR membership site that is in your niche, this is where all that stuff really kind of comes into play. And you know, it's just kind of like every month you get fed something, you go through this process, you allow the rinse repeat, you get something else the next month. You know, you're slowly building up an empire that way. Like you're building up a really great base that way. So last thing before I open up for questions is, here is our link to the, where is my link? To the, to the Use PLR members group. It is our Facebook group, and we have all of our replays in here. We are still migrating some of our training replays in here, so I would recommend looking at the sessions that we dropped in the chat box today. However, we do have the majority of our replays in here. We are connecting as a group. If you have any questions, you can tag myself, you can tag other group members, and we'll get back to you with that. Looking for resources if you're looking to connect with other PLR sellers, or we also have discounts. Sometimes our folks who outsource will give discounts to folks in our group. You have access to that. Or when for instance, when I launch a product, I give my group either first access or best price. So you'll always have that whenever I create a product. All right, do we have any questions before we wrap up for today? And if you do, please let me know in the chat box. Sandra, I am going to get in touch with you with the audio information. Anyone else have anything though? We've been doing this for almost a year now. And in fact, at the end of this month, we will have been doing this for a year, our Use PLR Power Hours. And they are really great. They're fun ways for us to connect with each other. We've got a fun little community that we're building, and I love doing this. I love having this time to kind of know, hey, who's my audience? You know, who are you guys? What are you looking to do? How can I help you? All that good stuff. Okay, looks like we, hold on. Carol says, thanks, Rachel. This is great. It helps to put it all together. Oh, Carol, thank you. That means a lot. I'm really glad that it does help. Let's see. Sandra says, oh, she's been learning a lot. Thank you very much, Sandra. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you if you're available another week. We have lots of fun stuff that we're sharing. Okay, guys, coming up in our power hours, Jen Brockman is going to show us how to organize our PLR using Google Slides. We're still working on a date for that. I've had our schedules aren't meshing really well. Hopefully they will soon. And again, as a recap, today is the last day to get the Paleo Quick Start Power Pack for $14.95. That will go up to $27 tonight. If you are part of the Use PLR members group, feel free to tag me in a post if you need the code to take this down even further, because as I said, our members get first access or best price. Okay, guys. Okay, Greg, thank you very much. I appreciate your saying that. I will look into that. Okay, so everyone, this is Rachel Youngson from useplr.com and wholefoodplr.com. If you have any questions between this week and next week, please reach out to me in the Use PLR members group or reach out to me at my email, rachel@useplr.com. All right, we'll see you guys next time.